Hello and welcome. These hiccups are gonna be the death of me. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Bemused. If we've never met, my name is Akeiva. I am a budding financial planner, and on this channel we talk all things personal finance for young adults just like me. So if you're into that kind of thing, consider subscribing. So if you've been following along our videos lately, if you've seen this video right here, ooh, or this video right here, and if you haven't seen them, that's okay, you can catch up later after this video is over, you would know that I had to move out of the apartment I was living in by August 31st. Well, update, I have moved. My next video should be a conclusion of the I'm about to be homeless saga. That is pending, of course, that the saga is concluded, which at this point it's not concluded yet. So yeah, but I digress. Point is, in the process of this logistical nightmare, I ended up renting a Uhaul for the first time. So if you've never rented a Uhaul before, or you're wondering whether those trucks really are $19.95 like they advertise in the big orange letters around town, or you want to know what all the hidden fees are, have no fear, because I'm breaking it all down in this video. So first, let's start with what I like about Uhaul. Uhaul is kind of like that one-stop shop for all of your moving needs. So not only do they have, you know, the classic truck and van rentals. Sorry guys, these hiccups are seriously ridiculous. Not only do they have van and truck rentals, but they also allow you to hire movers to help you move your things. They have storage facilities, packing supplies, boxes, etc., anything you could possibly need that has to do with moving. And one thing I like about Uhaul is that Uhaul lets you be grown. Like, you can rent one of those trailer hitches at 16 and any of their vans, trucks, etc. at 18, which is really great for the youngins out there. Another thing I like is that you can add an additional driver if you're renting a van or a truck for no additional cost. So in my case, my dad was with me and he helped me move, so I was able to add him on. No drama, no issues. It's good because that makes sure that he's covered if anything were to happen to the vehicle. You know, we're both covered under whatever policy or plan that they have. So the one ground rule that I think is important with Uhaul is that if you're just doing an in-town move like I did, please, please, please return the Uhaul to the same location where you picked it up. Because if you don't, you're gonna get charged a lot more. Typically they charge you like $100 more or so if you want to pick it up at one location and return it to another. So the smartest thing to do is, if you're just moving in town, is just return it back to where you picked it up. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of what I paid and all of the costs that are involved with renting a Uhaul. I'm gonna have my handy dandy paper here with me and make sure I'm not, you know, telling some alternative facts out here. So I rented the 9-foot cargo van. So the first cost that is involved with renting a Uhaul is, of course, that base price, in this case, which was $19.95 for the 9-foot cargo van. And so that's the first layer of costs. Then on top of that, the next layer of cost is the mileage. And so for where I rented my Uhaul from, and I rented it at pretty much the last minute. As you guys know, this has been just a crazy last minute everything. And so where I wanted to rent the Uhaul from didn't have any vans available, so I had to go a little bit further out, and where I ended up renting it from was a little bit more expensive than where I wanted to rent it from. And so I paid 89 cents a mile, and I used 25 miles throughout my trip. And so that was a charge of $22.25. If I had rented it at the place I wanted to, their rate was 59 cents a mile. And the biggest tip when it comes to mileage costs is that Sunday through Thursday is gonna be the cheapest cost. If you try to rent a Uhaul on a Friday or a Saturday, you're gonna be paying 10 to 20 cents more than Sunday through Thursday. And I rented mine on a Sunday. Then, and this was something I opted into, was that I decided to pay $10 for their insurance policy. So in case anything happened to the van, got into any accidents, we damaged something, broke off a side mirror, I mean, you name it, things happen. So I thought it was worth it to just buy the $10 insurance. Like, I'm way too risk averse to be dealing with this nonsense. And if you don't know what risk averse means, I'm gonna insert a little definition here while I go do something. Be back. And the insurance that I paid for doesn't mean that you're just off the hook. Their insurance, I think the deductible is $150. So you're still responsible for the first $150 of damage to the vehicle, if there is any. Then there are U-Haul's little miscellaneous fees. So all the fees I mentioned so far, nothing hidden in there. That's all stuff that you will see when you reserve the U-Haul on their website. So U-Haul also charges a $1, what they call environmental fee. And so I looked it up to see exactly what they intend on doing with this environmental fee. It's basically a whole paragraph, yada, 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 going toward the development and maintenance of sustainable U-Haul business operations. I mean, honestly, truly, like, even though it's just $1, it's like, why are you charging your customers extra money for you to be doing basically your job? Like, but that's just my 2 cents. So there's a $1 environmental fee. I'm not sure if that changes from region to region. I think it's a range between $1 and $5, depending on where you live, what state you're in, but it was $1 for where I live. So all of that is what you'll see when you reserve your U-Haul. The biggest hidden cost, and this isn't something that's necessarily across the board, but it definitely applies in Boston. So where I rented my U-Haul from was still considered, I guess, technically Boston, city of Boston territory. And so I learned from this process that whenever you rent a car, a U-Haul, anything like that, they charge what's called the Boston Ccf Surcharge. So that $10 is a flat charge that applies whenever you rent any such item in the city of Boston. And that was a surprise because they didn't tell me that when I rented my vehicle. That was just showed up on my bill. I made sure I Googled it, made sure it was legit, and it is legit, but however, they didn't tell me about it beforehand. So that was definitely a hidden cost in there for $10. So overall, like if I had gotten my U-Haul at the place I wanted to get it, I would probably save myself a good $15 to $18. Just because of that $10 surcharge from the city of Boston and what I would have saved in mileage charges. And so all of my charges to U-Haul came up to $66.53. And now the last cost on top of all of that was, of course, gas. So you would not be smart to not fill up the tank back to where they gave it to you, because otherwise, like, they were trying to charge me $4.50 per gallon if I brought it back under the level that they gave it to me at, which is of course ridiculous. So I spent an extra $7 putting gas into the vehicle. And also, if you bring it back with less than a quarter tank, it's an additional $30 service fee. So just fill back up the tank before you bring it back. That's all. So in total, let me do some quick math, paid $73.53 for my entire U-Haul experience. Now, another question you might be wondering is, what happens if I bring my U-Haul back later than scheduled? So when booking the U-Haul, I mean, I put in 2 hours, I put in 4 hours, I put in 6 hours, it was all the same price. So I honestly don't know if within the same day, if there's really a difference in price, not that I've seen, but I mean, I would say to just book it for as long as you think you need it. Like, the answer to that question really is I wasn't trying to find out, so I brought my stuff in early because I was not trying to see what other charges they could pull out from the sky to charge me. So just book it for as many hours as you think you need it. I booked mine for 4 hours, only ended up needing it for about 2 hours and a quarter, so I know I booked it for way longer than I needed it, but I'm glad I did because I would rather have been early than have been late. So hopefully that answers any questions that you had about how to rent a U-Haul and how much it actually costs. If you have any questions on this topic, leave them in the comments below. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe before you leave and turn on notifications so that you never miss when we post a new video. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.